Awakening makes Assassin a lot more useful, but a lot more complicated. No more holding down one button. First off, your rank 2 skills should look like this, and rank 1 skills like this. There are two main components to doing damage on Assassin. The starting rotation, which is all your heavy cooldowns, and the attack rotation, which is all your light cooldowns and main attack skills. In the starting rotation, your focus is to apply damage over time skills and set up for fatal strikes. Here's what the ideal starting rotation looks like. The idea is to do this part fast enough so that the first hit of Dark Blade will be boosted by Lumerigon and also crit from fatal strikes. If you can't do it, you can move Death Sentence to the end. Now this is the attack rotation, which you're going to use to fill up time until fatal strikes comes off cooldown. If you have enough spirit to cast both skills right away, using Binding Punishment first is technically better because you get an extra few hits in while you're casting all in one. However, when we get Master Awakening, you're going to have to cast all in one before Binding Punishment, and I'll show you why later. Once both of your skills are on cooldown, you want to follow up with Redoubled Pain until you're out of spirit, and then recover with Lucky Stars. You should occasionally cast Redoubled Pain while you're waiting for the cooldown of the other two skills. You should recover so that you'll have 35 to 40 spirit to instantly cast all in one once it comes off cooldown. If you don't have enough spirit to follow up with Binding Punishment, throw in some Lucky Stars and then spam Binding Punishment until it casts. So the full Assassin rotation should look like this. For lapenshard, I would focus first on the Ghost one from Malevolent Manor. This is because the Ghost lapenshard can crit, while Pride Bolt can only crit on the initial cast. I'm not running it here, but I'll eventually replace the free one from the storyline with the Guardian of the Seas lapenshard. At tier 6, the upgrade costs get ridiculous, so you might as well get all of them to tier 6 first and then go from there. So of the two new skills we'll get in Master Awakening, this skill called Destruction looks like Shadow Burst, which shoots stars in a cone and then detonates after a little bit. The skill has a 10-second cooldown. Upon detonation, this skill will also explode Binding Punishment, adding extra amounts of damage. So to get the most damage possible, you want Binding Punishment to be detonated around the end of its lifespan. Which means if you cast it first and then cast Destruction, it's gonna blow up right away. So you want to cast Destruction first and then cast Binding Punishment after that, so that Binding can spin for the full 10 seconds before exploding. The issue with casting Destruction then Binding is that the detonation time will be just long enough that Binding will explode as soon as it starts spinning, so you won't get the full 10 seconds. So in order to fill for that timer, we have to cast all in one in between Destruction and Binding Punishment. This is why I suggest using all in one before Binding Punishment now, so that you won't be confused when the new skill comes out. Destruction takes no spirit and has a pretty short animation. The other new skill is a recovery skill called Chain Stars. It's basically an upgraded version of Lucky Stars, but it will stack with Lucky Stars, so you can use them back to back to throw 4 stars in a row. This is basically like Lucky Stars and Shadow Cutter without a macro. You hold down Chain Stars while tapping Lucky Stars, allowing you to do a lot more damage while regenerating spirit. It's possible to do the full combo while jump attacking if you use Chain Stars fast enough after jumping. So what this means is you should organize your keybinds in such a way that you have space for 2 new skills coming in the future. I personally recommend putting all your cooldowns in one area, consumables in another area, and utilizing your macros to clear up space on the hotbar. I'd recommend against macroing Lucky Stars and Redoubled Pain together, as it's a waste of time during Holy Symbol if you're casting Lucky Stars. Other than that, you seem to do the same damage if you macro or manually cast. If you follow all these tips, one day you and I will be able to do this much damage. Guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, hit that like button. I'm going to be uploading all sorts of Assassin gameplay, guides, speedruns, and so much more, so click subscribe and I'll see you next time.